And we're live. Happy
Hey.
Saturday, everyone. This is your girl, Marilyn Monroe, with another amazing episode, segment, spotlight of sisterhood. I'm so excited to be in conversation with an amazing storyteller, award winning poetry writer, and author of Session.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate you. And then, of course, backstage, I've also learned the amazing connection in which you obviously felt the vibe of us being fellow Cancerans. So I'm
Yes,
happy to hear that.
yes. You're the
Yes,
best.
you're an incredible woman without even me knowing all the details.
Thank
I know
you.
it. Yes. So welcome to the spotlight. The spotlight offers the celebration, the sisterhood, the camaraderie, the love support of the community of us women, and what we can bring to one another, whether we know each other or not. If your intention is, sincere, your heart is pure, and the love is true, all of us are sisters at heart. We are. We're all connected, like the string of pearls that are around this border. Like we're all connected in some way. We have more in common than what we think, a lot of us. So this
hmm
segment is dedicated to us, but more so the spotlight of you. And so my first question to you is, what is sisterhood to you?
Um, to me, I would say is security, safety, accountability, vulnerability, um, you know, not taking advantage of our strong um suits. You know what I'm saying? Like you had that really strong friend, so you just trauma dump on her, like recognizing that even your strong friend need to be checked on. It's always being conscious and compassionate and have empathy. But saying what needs to be said. Respect is very,
Mm-hmm.
very important to me. Respecting the individual, respecting us as a whole. Um, and putting in work to make sure on ourselves, putting in work with ourselves so we can be the best sisters we can be to each other. So yeah.
That is true. And I love the fact that
hmm
you mentioned being conscious,
hmm
but
of
yet
your
cautious.
behavior and
Yes.
everything. Yep.
Yes. You
hmm
you you real good with that. You good with the word plays. You real good with that. You definitely a poet, a writer. You probably even low key a rapper.
I, well, I used to battle when I was younger. I used to battle. I used to be a part of this group called the Lyrical Assassins. We were like a group of poets that just used to battle other poets, so I did a lot of spoken word and stuff like that. I'm older now. I can't remember too much of my poems. I gotta read. I gotta get back
Right.
to memorizing stuff like that. But yeah, I used to battle in competitions and just online, just battle other poets.
I
So
can see, like, again, I
mhm.
I also I used to write poetry. I don't want to say
Okay.
a poet, but I used to write poetry. Then I went into hip hop. So that I definitely, that's why I figured,
Oh, okay.
yes, I knew it was something, because a lot of us poets that start off as writing poetry, they go into music, whether it's songwriting,
hmm
R&B, of course, or becoming a rapper or rapping. So yeah,
hmm
and then a book writer. So the
hmm
storytelling is and wordplay is amazing.
Thank you.
So yeah. Let's talk about your journey of, and you can start wherever you like to start in your history up to date of how you became in love with, writing words, poetry. What inspired you? That type of thing.
Well, I started writing poetry and fiction at two different stages in my life, two different ages. And, so poetry started when I was 7 years old. I wrote my first poem because we were doing, my teacher, my second grade teacher, introduced poetry to us. And one of our assignment was to take a favorite animal
Hmm.
and write a poem about him, and I wrote a poem called "To Whom It May Concern" about a dog trying to find his way home. I'm like
At
seven,
eight,
right? Um,
Seven. Okay.
so and it just stuck with me that I didn't know how important poetry was gonna become to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it did. It helped me survive child abuse.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it just helped me get through all of that, the things that everything I experienced before the age of 13, 14 years old. So it became my world, you know how music is for some people and stuff like that. So it became that, and I got really good at it. That I got that my sophomore year in high school, I was how can I say it? I guess he was I guess you can call him a scout. He
Okay.
was from Young Chicago Authors. It's a writing program. It doesn't teach you how to write, but it introduces you to different types of writing, screenplay, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and so he found me, and I went to an interview. He was like, "We want you in the school."
Mm.
So I'm not bragging, but it's something I'm proud of.
That's
Like
right.
he said, I was one of the best writers that ever came through the program.
Yes.
So, that was something good in my life experiencing abuse. And so my very first poetry book was called Perfect Pictures. And I used that book to buy everything for my prom and my luncheon.
Wow.
That was the first time ever selling books. That was the first time ever making books. And I sold about 500 copies um just to pay for my prom dress and stuff like that. So poetry has always, and then when it came to writing fiction, I was challenged. I don't like being challenged, right? So this other poet, she was writing short stories. She was like, if you can write poetry, you can write. So I was like, no, I'm a poet for life. I don't do all that. She was like, so you telling me you can't? I said, girl, what? So
Challenge.
right. So I wrote the first chapter of my book, very first book, Climatic Successions, right?
Mm.
Fell in love, right? So I'm like, I like this, right? She was like, this is you, you. She was like, this is amazing, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep going. But when I started to continue the story, my computer crashed,
Mm.
my apartment flooded, and then I lost my son.
My
So
God.
it was boom, boom, boom. So I fell into like this depression, and I wrote both books on my cell phone, the very first iPhone that came out, right?
Uh-huh.
So it was a box,
Yeah.
and you had to, you know, I
Yeah.
wrote both of those books on my cell phone. I just laid in bed for 6 months, and I was like, so once I came out of it, I was like, this is a gift. Like, how did I continue to finish this story? And I'm grieving, you know, and
Mm.
so yeah, it just it never left me. The poetry, I was afraid because I'm like, I'm not in pain no more. I started healing, you know what I'm saying? And I started, so I'm like, what a poetry at? What a poetry at? So
Yeah.
but I've been getting it back because I've been working on a new poetry book called Chocolate Butterfly. And I want to drop it on National Black Poetry Month, which is held in October.
Yes.
So yeah, so it's coming back to me and everything. But yeah, that's my journey.
That is awesome. So you
Mhm.
you you answered so many questions in just that one question about the inspiration of you writing poetry, and even a bit you shared about your writing process. Do you have
Mhm.
a different, in addition to that period of your life? And I apologize. You have my condolences
Thank
um, regarding your son. Um, but do you have different processes of writing now, different ways of writing um, for you in your books now?
I still can only write in chaos. Everything that I create, it got to be in chaos. I cannot do it in the
Mm.
quiet. I can be standing because I ground a lot. Like I just walk outside with no shoes and stand in the park. I stay across the street from a park. like with the sirens and the people talking in the cars and the music. I'm painting, I'm writing, stuff like that. It got to be, because I guess because of how I grew up,
Yeah.
I created a coping like mechanism. Like I can literally visualize myself walking into my mind and
Mm,
picking words for my poetry. Like I want that, I
wow.
want that, want that. So that come from my childhood, and I haven't figured out how to turn it off. I'm not sure if I want to.
Right.
So like I can create anything in when it's out of control, but when
Yeah.
it's still writer's block, right? Like I
Yeah.
can't paint, I can't do nothing.
Wow.
So it's like the world got to be burning around me in order for me to create.
Wow.
Hmm
So with so much talent, because honestly, that is talented. That is talent. Like a lot of it depends on who you speak with. But if you are
hmm
speaking with a seasoned person that lived the life and that knows and traveled and even not even traveled, but that has knowledge of life, um,
hmm
that is that chaos is really like that's a gift to be able to thrive in that. Because
hmm
a lot of people shut down in that. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, in the life that we live, that's all that goes around us. So you have to
hmm
be able to thrive and be able to walk through that with a clear mind, with blinders on, and be focused and be able to complete a quality work of life, right? So
hmm
out of all the things and talents you have, because you have a lot, you have great talents you
Thank
probably
you.
don't even realize you have.
I, you sound like my therapist. What's going on here? She's speaking through you. She using
Yeah,
the
she's
universe.
speaking to
Okay.
me. She's speaking through me.
All
But
right.
out of all of those versions of you, what is the best version? What is like author, storyteller, writer, poet? What is the best version of obsession that you most feel comfort in?
It's actually when I got my camera, photography. Um, man, it's just like the liberation
Mm,
I get from seeing things that other catching moments that people don't even consider moments until they see the photo. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't even thinking about that. They was just there,
yeah.
just present. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and like I was at my cousin's wedding and I was taking all these pictures. She had a photographer and she was like, I don't even want hers. I want yours because I caught real moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I like to catch life. I don't like poses.
Yeah.
The only thing still I may take pictures of is like things of nature, the buildings, the
Yeah.
flowers, whatever. But even I may wait until it's like a breeze or something, like the movement of
Yeah.
people and things and just everything. Like I like to catch life and I just feel so free.
Yeah.
Um and I feel kind of honored to capture those moments. Um and some people like when I take the pictures, or even if I'm painting something out there, and I usually leave them around the city and with my information, and they'll contact me on social media like, I got your painting, I got this, I got that. So yeah, I
Mm,
usually don't keep them. I kept this painting that I painted though. I usually don't keep all my paintings. So
that's beautiful.
thank you.
That is beautiful. I noticed that when we first
Hmm
was backstage, and I thought maybe it was like a just like a painting that you purchased, but you made
No.
that.
hmm Yeah. So I
Hmm,
usually don't keep, but I kept that one though.
that's
So
beautiful. So
thank you.
th- thank you for all tuning in. I have Rochelle. She's tuned in, and she said you are a visionary in the chaos.
Oh, thank you so
You're a
much.
visionary, and that really that's a skill. That's a skill. That's a talent and some people struggle with that and can't even see the beauty of that, but yeah, that's amazing. That is,
Thank you so much.
you
I
have an
appreciate
amazing
that.
mind, you're brilliant. um
Thank you.
so every person, I would like to think, and I'm waiting for the one person that tells me something different, and maybe you will be that person today. let's just say, maybe, what have you ever experienced or faced self-doubt?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm a Cancer. You already know.
Yes.
We got an issue with perfection, right? I had to train myself over time. Perfection is an illusion. It's a myth. It's
Yeah.
not real. Um, Practice doesn't make
Sure.
perfect. It makes better. So
Yes.
I became a better writer, better photographer. Painting, I'm not even trying. Like I'm just doing. I don't have time for that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, like I just paint whatever come out, come out. Like just being a better person. Like um. So the self doubt came in like even with my degrees because
Hmm.
I was so late in life getting my degree. I just got my master's like 2 years ago. So thank you in clinical psychology. I'm trying to get into a PsyD program. Um, so doubts as a teacher because I've been working with kids since I was 17. I'll be 43. So um doubts everywhere, but then I bring it back. That's where the grounding and all that stuff come in. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you actually a decent human being. Like
Hmm.
there's no reason to be so hard on yourself. There's no reason. And I have this talk with Fancy a lot.
Yes.
Um,
Child's
yeah,
fancy.
yes, I have this talk with Fancy a lot because again, it go back to the childhood when you grow up with people that pass down that generational stuff
Yeah.
and you the generational curse breaker. Jesus Christ. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like it's like, man, it's like you got your history and your lineage and your bloodline and all that, and then you
Yes.
trying to nope, that's
Yes.
not healthy. That's toxic. So the self doubt, like, damn, am I really fucked up? Or that's just like how I was raised, and that was implanted in me. I got to rip those roots out
That's right.
and replant. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So yeah,
That's a lot of work when you
it
are breaking
is.
generational curses, and sometimes you're breaking them and don't even know it
Mm-hmm.
because of you're made to believe what you were taught, what you were shown. So then when
Mm-hmm.
life shows you like, no, that's just like either hoodoo or stuff that your ancestors said for you to limit you or to make it comfortable for them. And then when you
Yep.
push through that, it's like you're exhausted because you're
Yep.
battling things that you didn't even know were issues that even your ancestors had, and you are breaking through them. Like you said, you're
Mm-hmm.
breaking those curses, you're completing those goals that they were sometimes not incapable of but afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
So you're making the difference.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a constant battle with my inner child. Like, girl, sit down. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
Yeah.
we ain't doing that no more. That's
That's
how
right.
we was raised. No, ma'am.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I got this. Let me show you the right way
Yeah.
because that wasn't right. So, yeah.
That's true. And that's one of my
Mhm.
next questions. So it's the lining up of everything is amazing. It's impeccable. And it's not on purpose. But what would you tell your younger self? What would you tell young Obsession, being the woman
What would
you
I,
are
t-
today?
what would I tell my younger self?
Hmm.
Hmm. That you can still be who God made you and still have family.
Mm,
I thought that I had to fall in line to keep my family
mm,
and suppress who I was on the inside. And when I let bits and pieces out, I was punished, condemned, ridiculed, stuff like that. So I retreat. I retreat.
yeah,
Um, but family is what you make it,
that's
who you
right.
make it. Either they gonna fall in line with who God made you to be, or you can love them from a distance. You don't have to water yourself down, mute yourself, accept abuse. You can hold people accountable, especially with our people, in black families, holding adults accountable is sin.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? It's sin.
Yes, it is
It's you're
blasphemy.
not supposed to do it. You
Yes,
know. And when I knew things was wrong, how we was being treated as children and stuff like that, I knew it was wrong. Very smart for my age, very wise and stuff like that. But it didn't. I basically, without knowing this term back then, because it wasn't back then, I didn't know it was okay to be bigger than the program. I
Hmm.
don't have to fuck with that shit, and I don't have to agree to that shit. I can be the black sheep, and the black sheep is not a bad thing. They make it a bad thing because you're not following in line. The black sheep is usually the innovator,
Yes, it is.
the curse breaker.
That's right.
They usually make moves that they family didn't even think they was capable of. And being a black sheep is actually a benefit. All that negative stuff that they told us growing up, being a broken crayon in the box, why you can't be like everybody else? Well, I'm the broken crayon in the box and I'm fine. I still color and I'm still pretty and I still get the job done.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I tell myself, that you can still be your authentic self who God made you and still have family. It may not be that family until they ready,
That's right.
until they go on their healing,
That's right.
because it's only toxic and shit because they ain't healed yet, because they still brainwashed that that's the way black families or whatever kind of family is supposed to be.
Hmm.
And so they'll catch up. Either they'll catch up with you or they won't. So that's
True.
what I tell them.
Well, you're doing an amazing job, and you're right. Family is not always based on blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
It's
Is
not.
and that's what we as we gotten older, we in the culture, I've learned that, because again, I always thought family was who you grew up with, who and
Mm-hmm.
family is
Right.
more beyond that, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
let's get into this book. Let's get into these books, honey. Let's get
Okay.
into.
All right.
We can talk. We can start with the first book. However, we're gonna end with this last book. But let's start with this
Okay.
first book. You begin writing. You begin publishing these books. Your books
Mm-hmm.
and your ability to tell these stories. Tell me about your first book. And
Climatic Sessions.
yes, tell me about it.
Okay. Well, Climatic Sessions, as I mentioned, was written on a dare, a challenge. It's
Yes,
a have you ever heard of 6 degrees of separation?
yes, I have.
Okay. So 6 individuals, they don't know they connected. They connected by some crazy shit. You know, I'm gonna just give you a few
Yes.
some of them siblings don't know. Some of them dating each other parents and don't know. So they like connected in all these um ways. And so um this book, the character Brooklyn is pretty much me. She's a
Mm.
teacher, tumultuous relationship with her mom, stuff like that. So a lot of my books, many of my books have a piece of me, and even down to my erotica, a lot of the toys and positions and stuff like that I have done. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? So I put a lot of, so climatic sessions mean a lot. It's hilarious. It's me, it's everything. Like, it's, how can I put it? When people read it, they was like, this is you and this is entertainment. My signature is shock value in my books.
I love
Like,
it.
I make you, I know you fucking lying. Like, all throughout my books. So and it started there. I was like, this is my signature. Cause everybody gave the same feedback.
Yes.
Like, I couldn't believe it. Girl, you crazy. Why he do this? Why she say that? Wow. So I'm like, shock value is
I love
my thing. So, yep.
I love it. I love that. Because
Mhm.
we could just go right from the first and jump to rectangle.
Rectangle, baby. I got
Let's
that
talk about
copy
that.
right
Give
here.
us a little snippet of
Rectangle.
rectangle. Yes, that book.
So, Rectangle is about a married couple, Adina and LeVar. They are both cheating on each other. But what they don't know is that they're cheating on each other with the same person. So,
Ooh, that's that. We got to read the book. Got to get the
Gotta
book.
read the book.
Tell us how we
It-
can get
it-
this book. Tell the great people how we can get Rectangle and all the other books.
okay. Well, you can get Rectangle from me personally. I always have copies if you are a paperback person. I am. I do have books on Kindle and stuff, but I like to smell the pages and flip the pages. That's just me. Um, but if you prefer ebook, which is fine, they're on Amazon. I have a link tree link where um you have my books and my social media and my articles that I write for
Mm-hmm.
SwagHer magazine. Yeah, so all of that. I can't for some reason I can't get in a chat, so I can send it to you so
Okay.
you can place it in the chat if
Yes.
you like.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
oh, oh, I think it
I
came
can't
up.
wait to read Rectangle. I just can't. I just I mean, I and like you said,
Yeah.
I love the experience of an actual book in my hands, flipping the
Mm-hmm.
pages. Like, that experience of book reading for me is always necessary, instead of, like you said, the
Yes.
Kindle. Or yeah, it's just necessary to, like you said, to smell the actual paper and the yeah, that's something that stays within you. So, SwagHer is a magazine of the intentional woman who likes to keep it real. And obviously you are one of those women.
Thank you.
Obviously. Tell us about your intentional impact. What, based on your storytelling, writing, even your creative processes of everything, what is your intention for your impact of your legacy that you're building and building?
Um, my intention is to show people that you do not have to be a product of your environment.
Mm,
You don't have to be. I don't care. I understand that, you know, we
mm,
made different. You have the weak and the strong, the dark and the light, but you can find balance. We were blessed with all the tools. It's about experimenting and seeing and developing the skills to use the tools that you need to not be a statistic. Because I could have, been on drugs and promiscuous and all this other stuff because
that's
of
right.
my background. But and I was, to a certain extent, I was a
Mm,
very violent person, because I was walking in pain. And
yeah,
then I woke up one day, said, God, I don't want to be like this no more.
yeah,
I might want to be a mother one day. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I started on the journey. I'm like, I want best friends. I
Yeah.
may want to get married. I may, who gonna want to deal with that?
Another
I
kid.
want to live long. I want to experience in my adult life what I should have got as a child. Understanding, empathy, love, smiles,
Yes,
stuff like that. So my intention is to show people that if you dig deep enough, you got to go to the roots.
that's right.
You got to stop being a walking wound, just walking
Mm,
in pain, just walking in pain, just open, ain't doing no work to heal. You don't have to. Everybody got a talent, everybody got a gift.
that's right.
Find it,
That's
use it. Be
I
the
love,
black sheep.
that's right.
Be the black
Absolutely.
sheep.
Don't be afraid to be the black sheep.
So
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yes.
yeah.
What role would you say you play in the culture and the communities? What role?
What role, since I'm always with parents and children in my community and stuff. So I would say, because obviously, like, parent child relationships are so important to me. So I'm
Yes.
always trying to find a way to get parents and children not to feel like they childhood suck, and parents not to feel like parenting sucks. So
Yes.
that's how I work in my community, because you wouldn't believe how many parents never learned how to play, especially
Wow.
the eldest daughter in families, whether it's Hispanic, black.
Yeah.
A lot of eldest daughters don't know how to play because they had so much responsibility. So they
Yeah.
don't even know how to play with their children. I done taught moms how to play with their kids to have a better connection and bond. I done taught moms how to double dutch. You wouldn't
Wow.
believe you wouldn't believe how many moms never really colored before. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So that's how I help out in my community. Like, you parenting don't have to suck. It can have sucky times, but
yes,
as a whole, it doesn't have to suck.
that's
You know,
right.
yeah. So
I love that. Finish this sentence. My pen is powerful because
my pen is powerful because I'm so multi-talented, and I'm wise beyond my years. Um, and I'm not afraid to when you write, I'm exposing myself when I let y'all read. I'm not afraid to be naked. You know,
that's right.
whatever's in here, I'm not afraid of it. So
I love that. I love that. And I love what you are doing for you, your ancestors, and the culture.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for, how often we thank people that served in the military for their services. I think
Mhm,
it's necessary for us to thank those who are the black sheep, those who are not afraid to be vulnerable,
mhm.
those who are paving the way, and those who are like you, women are like you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
I appreciate
Because
hearing
every woman, we tend to lose sight of being able to celebrate each other and to like
that.
support publicly, genuinely support each other.
Hmm. That's the part right there, the
Yeah.
genuine.
Yes, genuine,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
and I don't need to know you from last year or the year before to be able to smile and say thank
Hmm.
you, or you're beautiful. A lot of women of us, we have challenges with that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that, to me, again, sisterhood is built on the sisterhood spotlight is built on celebrating women genuinely, honestly, lovingly. And
Hmm.
I celebrate you today.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I really do. I really do. And I thank you so much. Tell the good people of SwagHer Magazine, Sisterhood Spotlight, um, and Marilyn Monroe Media, by the way. Tell us where we
Mhm.
could find Obsession, where we can find you on social media, any up and coming projects, all that good stuff.
Yes, you can. I put the link tree, Arthur Obsession, where you can get all my stuff.
Okay.
I put oh, you can find me on Instagram, Arthur Obsession, or Books by Obsession, TikTok, same thing, Twitter, I mean X. You can find me on that. What else? Yeah, all the same handle, Arthur Obsession. My books are on Amazon. You might have to put Arthur Obsession in because it's a lot of books and stuff with obsession. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Got you.
Oh, upcoming, I am
Awesome.
releasing a book in a new series called Under the City Lights. It's all romances in the city of Chicago. The first book is I Just Want to Be Loved. It comes out
Mm.
May 30th while I'm at Atlanta the Black Romance Book Festival. Will be from in Atlanta from Friday to Sunday. Yeah. So come see me if you're in Atlanta at the Omni Hotel
Awesome.
downtown Atlanta. Yes.
Okay. And what date was that?
May 29th through the 31st.
Okay. All right.
Omni
Well, thank you
Hotel
all.
downtown Atlanta.
Awesome. I may come through. I may come because
Okay.
that's maybe about a 4 hour drive for me. So I may come through. I'm gonna be in touch for sure. So and I'm gonna
Yeah,
read
let
this
me know.
this rectangle.
Yes.
I'm gonna read this book now.
Yes,
So
please.
I'm excited. Yes, I
I'm
will.
excited for you to read it. I want to know what you think.
Yes, yes. I really, really appreciate your time coming on today, celebrating you, us getting to know who you are. And thank you for being so transparent about everything. Um,
Welcome.
Thank you all for tuning in to listen to our wonderful sister obsession. And isn't any closing words, any shout outs you'd like to give, anything like that?
I mean, just shout out to the SwagHer family. I appreciate y'all. I really do. I love our little group chats and everything.
Yeah,
I'm always tuning in, watching the shows,
I appreciate it.
um, and everything. Just I'm proud of
Yeah,
everybody in the
yes,
group, so
yeah,
we really gonna I feel like this our year.
it
Yeah.
is. It is.
Hmm.
And thank you so much. We all thank you. Have an amazing day. And always remember,
You
everyone,
too.
that God loves you. And I do too. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you,
Bye.
session.
Thank you.